Hey guys, Trent Grandstaff with Living Life in North Idaho. Today we're talking about what it actually takes to make it here as a Californian living in Idaho. And as a previous Californian who's been in Idaho for 33 years, I can tell you it's not the easiest place to live. Not everybody makes it. It's not that they die, it's that they bite off more than they can chew. Let's just say that. So today I'm going to share some stories with you that I heard today from my motorcycle mechanic about his neighbor almost burning down his home and his acreage up in the Silver Valley. We're going to talk about what's going on in the world right now and why there's so many people moving here. We're going to talk about the political spectrum that exists here and who are the best Californians that live here and who are the worst. So stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Living Life in North Idaho. My name is Trent. And on this channel, we talk about what it's like living, eating, working, playing, and buying real estate here in Idaho. So if that's of interest to you, make sure you tap the subscribe button. You hit that notification bell so every time I come out with a new video, you're getting notified. And if you are serious about getting out of big cities, I think the getting is good right now. Reach out to us. We love helping people get set up here in Idaho. Doesn't matter where in Idaho, my team expands all across the state, and we just make sure that we do a really good job for everybody, making sure that they're getting into the right town, because you get into the wrong town, it's not always a good fit. In fact, we have a client right now who invested a ton into a town south of Coeur and it's not working out so hot, so now we're selling all that property for him so he can get moved to the right spot. And we want better for you. We want to make sure that you land in the right spot first, so give us a call. All right, so responsible land ownership. Now, what's prompting this video? This morning I wake up and I see from my dirt bike mechanic a story about his property almost burning down. So a guy from California moves in, buys 150 acres next to him up in the Silver Valley, and decides, hey, I'm gonna excavate 80 acres of this, which is good. You know, you clear out a lot of the brush, a lot of the trees. I think he wants to start, raising cattle. He's probably been watching Yellowstone. And anyway, so he cuts it all down. Now, thing is that a lot of these trees, when you cut them down, they're gonna be green. You can't burn them right away. But instead of waiting until fall for the summer to dry them all out, he decides, hey, I'm gonna put it into a burn pile, I'm gonna burn it right now. Unfortunately, it didn't burn. He lit it, didn't burn, he thought it went out. My buddy gets a call and he goes, hey man, your property, right at your property line, it's on fire. And what had happened is the fire had gone underground. Because he churned up the earth, there's air trapped under there, there's fuel, the fire spread and started lighting, and it almost lit the park next to him, or the public land next to him, on fire. It almost lit his property on fire with his house. And these people, they don't have anywhere else to go. Some of them don't even have insurance. And so this guy almost ruined the lives of all these people. He shows up 3 hours after the fire department had already been there putting it out and goes, oh gee, what happened? I didn't know that fire could start underground. Gee, I'm so sorry. Well, he bit off more than he can chew. And this isn't uncommon. We see Californians, they sell their property, they make tons of money, which is great. I think making money is awesome, but they come up and they buy a ton of land up here and they think that they're Kevin Costner. And they're like, you know what? I'm setting my family ranch right now. It starts here. This is the Yellowstone or Greenstone or whatever they want to call it. And you're putting everybody at risk when you do this kind of stuff and you don't research it. So you need to do your research. You need to spend some time. Go and help your neighbor clear their land. See if there's any opportunity to go and help others so you can learn before you go and do it yourself. Now, moving on to the next topic, ethical harvesting of animals. This same guy, come to find out, has a reputation around town because he harvested a bull elk, shot it with a rifle on his property during elk season, takes it to a taxidermist and goes, hey, I need you to mount this thing. I'm proud of this. I want it mounted. Well, it was bow hunting season. And apparently he stuck an arrow through the rifle hole thinking, I'm gonna get away with this. Yeah, Idahoans are a little bit slower. I'll admit it, some of us, we don't have big vocabularies, but we're not that dumb. And so, yeah, taxidermists have a legal responsibility to get a hold of Fish and Game. Now that guy's being investigated, and I'm not sure what's going to happen to him. But the thing is that just because you own land and there's an animal on that land and it's season, you don't get to decide, well, who cares? You know, I'm taking an animal, rifle, you know, bow, doesn't matter. Well, it does matter. We have these rules for a reason. Not everybody agrees with them. I get it. You know, some people think there shouldn't be any rules around me harvesting animals to feed my family. I understand that, but we have these rules and it's important to follow them. And the other thing about following rules is we see an influx of individuals who come up here, they've got plenty of money, and they think, you know what, I can get away with it. I have plenty of money, you know, what's the worst that's gonna happen? It's gonna be a fine. Well, no, it's ruining it for everybody. When you do this kind of stuff, it ruins it for everybody, and it's taking what's not yours, even though it seems like, hey, it's just nature, whatever. We gotta follow the rules, because when you don't follow the rules, like I can go out, I can get out in the woods, and there's nobody watching me, and there's not a lot of rules, and it's because we follow the rules. But when people stop following those rules, now all of a sudden there's gonna be more rules and more enforcement, and it just ends up becoming like California. So if you're planning on moving here, just know you're not above the rules. You know, nobody's above the rules. We enforce them here. Idaho is a land of law and order, and you gotta follow it or you're gonna ruin it for everybody. Now moving on to the next subject, political spectrum. We see this a lot. Californians who have dealt with the worst of the worst, the political extremes, the extremism, the chaos that's coming from it. And honestly, they think that the right answer is to shoot 180 degrees, 100 miles an hour and go in the absolute opposite direction. And I can tell you that's not the right answer. It's somewhere in the middle. It's somewhere in the middle. It's finding the moderate. It's finding the ability to go, hey, people are weird. People are going to live in a way that I might not agree with, but as long as it's not hurting somebody else and it's not being shoved in other people's faces, and it's not bothering people, we should just let people be. And unfortunately, we have some of those people who are coming here, and they're wanting their ideology, they're wanting their religion pushed into law. And it's kind of funny to watch because they'll make these rules about like, oh, books in libraries should not have this pornographic material and violence and things. And then they're like, oh, you sure? And they're like, yes, absolutely. And then they end up having to ban the Bible. And then they have to backpedal. And so I understand people's fear. I understand that you think because it's the opposite of what's going on where you live right now that it's got to be right, but it's not. Idahoans, they understand better than most. We got to live and let live. A lot of us are refugees from places that were going blue, that were changing radically, and we could see the writing on the wall. My parents 33 years ago saw the writing on the wall in 1992 and said, we got to get out of here. And that was nothing compared to what we're dealing with now. And so we understand it, but we also understand that the more you push, the more you try to enforce, like, we don't want that, that should not exist here, make sure it never happens, the more triggering that is to people who are going, well, wait, that doesn't fit well with me, that's not the way I want to live. And so then it makes other people more politically active, and pretty soon you have this battle going on in politics. Meanwhile, 90% of the population's sitting there going, can we just chill out? Like, look at what's around me. We have plenty of stuff to enjoy and do. There's no need to go and screw this up with making more laws and trying to make it more politically pleasing to you because you're afraid that it's going to end up being that way. Now, are there bad actors out there that are trying to do bad things? Yes, but it still comes down to a vote. And so a lot of times all you have to do is go out and vote and get people to understand what's going on, and they'll go out and vote. It doesn't mean that you have to get radical about it. So that's all I have to say about that political spectrum. But now, let's talk about the next thing. The best we can hope for. The best we can hope for here in Idaho is that people find this as a place of rest, a place of restoration, a place of being able to come and renew their hearts and souls, because we have the ability to do that. Nature is an excellent way of doing that. And so the more we can get people to understand, like, come here, find your heaven, find your own private Idaho, and just be at peace, the better it's gonna be for everybody. And you have to understand, the more you want it the way you want it, and you use the government and law enforcement to make it the way you want it, they will always go, yes, yes, please, give us the authority to do that. We will gladly take it. Government's like a vacuum for power. And the more you vote to give them that power, the more they'll go absolutely, and they will never give it back. Idaho is not beyond this. They are totally susceptible to this. And so if we can just learn to like chill out and mind our own business and just go about our lives, the less power we're going to give government. I'm not saying government's a bad thing. I'm just saying that the more power you give them, the more they're going to take and the less we're going to have. Now we're getting to the other half of this video. Who are the best Californians that live here? Now that might sound like an oxymoron. The best Californians? There are no good ones. I promise you there are. I mean, I'm from California. I know not everybody likes me, but I think I'm pretty good. Anyway, the best Californians that move here, they're the ones who bring good community here. They understand that they're not here to fix anything. They're here to use their money and influence, if they have any, to better our communities, better our businesses, better our churches, better our nonprofits. They're here to improve things and not to try to take advantage of the opportunity that they see to develop and buy up places and make their fortune here. I don't think there's anything wrong with progress. I don't think there's anything wrong with making money. But when you use it in a way, when you do it in a way that kind of takes advantage, I think there's a problem, and we here in Idaho see that, and it is a problem. The other thing that makes them the best Californians, the people who are the best Californians, they're the ones who invest into the relationships, that they understand that Idaho has more to give than they can possibly give. And so they come here, they slow down in their lives, they look for individuals to build relationships with, and they understand that what drove them here was created by other people. That the mentality, the entitlement, the craziness that they're trying to leave, they're more than capable of bringing that here, and they choose not to. They choose to invest into the environment. They respect the environment, they respect people, and they don't criticize. Because again, I'm telling you, a lot of people, they don't have very big vocabularies here. But what I will say is these people will have your back if you invest into them, if you treat them right, they'll have your back. They will take care of you. When things start to hit the fan, they will be there. And when you get yourself into trouble, like almost burning down the whole forest, they'll be there to help you. They'll be there to stop it. So it's best to not treat them poorly. It's best to love on them, to respect them, and understand that sometimes simple is smarter. Sometimes simple is better. And I think that there's something to be learned there. Now, who are the worst Californians that come? Well, they're the ones who do the opposite of all that stuff. Here, I'm gonna get walking. As the sun's going down, I don't want to be hiking back in the dark. And I'm just up here on Tubbs, in case anybody's wondering. This is right. I mean, you can see the Coeur d'Alene Resort down there. The downtown is right there. It's super easy to get here. But yeah, the worst Californians are the ones who are arrogant. They flash around their money. They use their influence to get what they want. They change the codes. They change the area. They do whatever they want and then basically just pay the fines, thinking that that's acceptable behavior. And it's not. It's not. It sucks. We've lived here through the hard times. We've lived here through some harsh winters, through some pretty terrible storms. And it sucks to think that people can just come in here and change it for the way they think it should be, for the way they want it. And so if you want to make it here, you invest into the community, you don't bully the community, you don't act like a big shot. Because the fact is, Idaho has way more to offer than any amount of money that you can bring, any amount of jobs, any amount of opportunity. The people here are good people. I got to share this story. I'm probably going to cry, but so I'm picking up my daughter from school. It's her last day of middle school, and she is ugly crying. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what's wrong? And she's crying. She goes, I don't care about this school, but I'm so sad I don't get to see my teacher. She goes, I don't care about the building. I don't get to see my teachers anymore. And Her art teacher had invested into her so heavily. She helped shape her. And as her father, I'm totally okay with that. I'm so glad that she has adults in her life that are investing into her, that are showing her her worth, who are growing her skills. And she's so sad that she doesn't get to see her anymore. And it brought me to tears, because I live in a community that invests, that has teachers that I can trust, that aren't gonna try to brainwash them with some weird ideology that's gonna make them question the core of who they are, that they invest into my kids and give them confidence and make them proud of who they are. And I can tell you, like, I was homeschooled, and my parents, they were nearing a divorce as they were homeschooling me, and it was not pleasant, and I didn't have that. I didn't have people speaking into my life like that. And I'm so glad she does. God, I'm a big crybaby. Pull it together. All right. And so this community, that's what this community can offer, is people who will invest into your kids. They'll invest into you if you invest into them. And the best opportunity isn't in the real estate, it's in the people. And if we just steamroll over people by bringing in your money and making changes and making it harder for people to live here, you're missing the best part of this place. I didn't mean to get all emotional. I'm kind of a sensitive guy. But that's really what this place is, and that's really the core of my message here, is if you want to make it as a Californian, as someone from Seattle, as someone from anywhere, if you want to make it here, invest into the community, follow the rules, be a good person, and you're going to fit in just fine. Now, like I said, if you are serious about getting moved here, my team and I would love to help make that happen anywhere in Idaho, or maybe this isn't a great fit for you. You want to look over in Eastern Washington, can cover that area as well. And so just give us a call, shoot us an email or a text. We'd love to talk with you. Please don't make fun of me when you see me. I know I'm a crybaby, and at almost 40 years old, I'm okay with it. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you on the next one.